Hey guys, welcome back. DeFi, degens, drip, and farm for poverty. I'm your host, Drip Coach, dropping knowledge bombs on all Forex Shark related projects. In today's video, we're going to be going over a couple of key highlights from the previous AMA done with AXRJ, and also giving you some updates on the drip price video I did, because now we're seeing this little leg down that I was mentioning, and going to cover a look at the previous cycle a little more in depth that I mentioned in one of the videos. So you don't want to miss this if you're looking for some updates. And I'm also going to review the AMA notes so you can take a look at that. So let's jump straight into the video. So the very first thing that I haven't actually seen a video on, nor is it highlighted in the AMA notes, that is extremely important, and the basic premise for this video is that Forex mentioned about the liquidity helper contract. Remember, before we were all speculating that there would be a way to migrate drip from the fountain and basically over to the animal farm to have it be staked. So people were speculating that Forex would build something, and he did mention he was going to work on that. But in this video, he actually tells you that that is not possible, and then goes in to explain why and kind of give a reason why it's beneficial that we don't have this implemented. So the short TLDR is that there will be no liquidity helper contract. We're going to listen to the video first, and he explains why. So let's go ahead and listen to that.
And people have asked, are you going to make a liquidity helper contract which allows people that already have drip to add liquidity to BUSD without paying the tax? And it's literally impossible to do that, because when you go to send the drip to that contract with the BUSD, it's going to be taxed. So you can only whitelist a sender with the tax structure that's in drip and basically every other token. So since you can only whitelist the sender, we can allow people to avoid the tax if they send in BUSD. That BUSD is then buying drip and pairing drip on the user's behalf, because we can whitelist this liquidity helper contract. We can whitelist the drip liberation contract from the tax, but we can't whitelist obviously every user from the tax, and that would be the only way to allow people to add that liquidity tax free. So this is a benefit in the sense that in order for somebody to utilize drip in the drip BUSD pool on Animal Farm, they either need to put fresh capital into drip through the drip liberation contract, which is going to add buy pressure to drip, or they need to send the drip that they have into the PancakeSwap liquidity pool with BUSD, and this is going to have a tax on that transaction, and that tax goes to the drip faucet and increases the dividends that drip's able to pay without increasing the supply of drip. So it's removing more drip from circulation, or it's adding more buy pressure to drip, and either one's a bonus. And then there's the 1% deposit withdrawal fee on getting into the drip farm, which is also going to support drip. So the drip.
All right, so there you have it. Can't be done, because basically what he's saying is that they can only whitelist the sender. So if you are already in drip and you're claiming, right? So you claim here, that's 10%. So you already claimed it out, you got 10%. And then if you send it anywhere, to any contract, any wallet, anything, there's a 10% tax. So there's no way for you to actually send it anywhere without it being taxed. So that's not going to happen. There's nothing he can do for that, because the contract itself has to be, the sender has to be the contract that's whitelisted, which is why we have the drip liberation contract that can do that. So he's saying you can instead use BUSD, which is exactly what this contract already does, and then that allows you to get drip. So this one gives you, you put in BUSD, you get drip and BUSD pair, but he's saying they can do a similar one with just drip. So the short thing, the purpose of why this is important is that there will continue to be sell pressure on drip, because there's no other way for people to pair their drip without selling it, or without incurring the tax. So currently what people are doing, we looked at that before, let's pull that back up. We're seeing a decrease in the garden, so people getting drip BUSD LPs from there, as well as people building their LP positions. And we've also seen the increase in the drip tokens being paid out, because people are collecting those, putting them in their wallet. So that's what I'm saying. In the short term, we're going to continue to see this sell pressure or claiming pressure of drip, and that's what I mentioned in this video here. And that's where this price kind of quote or idea came from in this video. Just a quick message, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss another video. This helps bring brand awareness to the channel, as well as all Forex Shark related projects. Thank you. This one here. So looking at these prices here, if we were to get, some good buy pressure coming in. But the main point is that we will continue to see drip bleed off. And that is a feature, not a bug. I know it sucks. We don't want to see that. But that's because what's going to happen as they continue to claim their tokens and pair them up, they'll be moving them over to the other contract in the animal farm. And that will create that arbitrage opportunity. And that in the other video, I was trying to reference this actual chart here, that we can actually take a look at the previous cycle that we had and how things were affected. So I remember I talked to you guys about the 40%. So we saw way back here in October, the Manor Farm white paper and website was mentioned, and then it was pump, and then the pre-sale started, but there was delays. So it just traded sideways a bit. Same thing we're seeing now. And then once the launch date was revealed, we saw this nice pump. And then it took a while. I think there was a delay here, which is why there was a sell-off. So they added the contract. There was a delay again. And then the actual Manor Farm version 1 launched here. And then there was the announcement of the Animal Farm 2, because remember, Manor Farm was supposed to go only for 3 weeks. Then there was the, sell the news event. So we had another sell-off, and then eventually we pumped for the Animal Farm launch. So right now, this is basically this. It's the same thing, just a lot longer time period. So if you were to zoom out here, let's move this. So this long drawn out sell-off is what we're seeing. That would be the equivalent of the Manor Farm launch and waiting. You can think of this as this is version 2 that we had here, and now we're going to version 3. So if you replace Manor Farm layer 1 with Animal Farm v2, then we could, and we're right here, then we have potential, not to say that's going to go back up to here, no, but saying that once this launches, we're going to actually be able to have the similar corrected price chart that we had in the past. So it just sucks right now. But all these AMAs are going on. Same thing he's doing now. He's doing AMAs and everything. But remember also, this is something key to keep in. I remember I mentioned in the other video about the Moon Boys and stuff putting out what I think is just bad information. We are in a bear market. We are in risk off environment. We are in a recession. We are in a war. There are lots of crypto regulation stuff coming in. There's not as much money coming into DeFi. And I even showed in this video here that we are much lower in our BNB price. So I hate to break it to all of you, but we are not going to moon in regards to all-time highs. We can definitely see a stable low double-digit drip floor. I still believe $9 to $12. This is looking even more realistic, my $8 range, $9 range. And this is with some hefty buy pressure coming in. But remember, every time big buys come in, they're gonna get sold off until the layer 2 comes in. So until layer 2 comes in and gives an incentive for people to stop claiming their drip and moving it out of the faucet, and it incentivizes them to keep it in the faucet, we're not going to see anything change. And if anything, it's going to get worse because more people get to max payout, and the incentives to stay in the faucet, especially if you have more than one wallet, is not as good as taking some of that and moving it over to the animal farm and migrating. And that's, again, not a bad thing. That's a feature, not a bug, because as it moves over into either the garden, then this contract balance increases, or it moves into the farm and we get the similar contract balance increase here. Well, that's just going to increase the total amount of liquidity that's here. And then these prices will appreciate. Remember that there's tax on the purchase of drip from the pancake swap side versus using BNB and purchasing from the native DEX. So we do, in a way, need drip to come over here and kind of sadly continue to sell off, because the more drip and BUSD that's over in here or in the garden, then the harder our price floor actually becomes. It kind of acts like the reservoir in a way. It's not permanently locked, but it has less volatility. And that looks a lot more attractive for new capital in a bear market, because your token won't have as many volatile swings as, say, another token that was tied only to BNB or a more volatile asset. So this, again, it's a good thing. I know it sucks. It's a feature, not a bug. I keep saying that. And it's hard to see the value, as Forex would say right now, with the way things look. But just ride this out for a little while longer and we will be back where we want to be. So let's get back into the AMA notes. I think that's all I wanted to show there. So you can check out this chart on the Medium article. I'll try to remember. It's an old chart, but it shows you a really good pinpoint of where things were. I already mentioned that in my other videos, but the main point for this one is that, yeah, seeing a $9 drip, $9 to $12 drip seems more and more realistic, and we will hold that until the buy pressure comes in, BNB goes up, and the sell pressure or claim pressure has been alleviated. And I believe that will be done with layer 2. So as long as we deliver on the roadmap moving forward, then yeah, things can definitely get bullish towards the end of the year. But do not expect to see this. Mark my words, check my videos. You're not going to see triple digit drip, in my opinion, anytime soon. It's going to take a lot more than that, and it's going to be the macro market that's going to require that, in my opinion. All right, so into the AMA notes. There was one thing that's highlighted aside from liquidity helper not being implemented. It's he mentioned this to AXRJ about them being able to do a similar lending or rehypothecation on pancake swap. So right now, as you know, on drip, on the animal farm, man, can't talk today. On the animal farm, all these funds that go here are basically being staked on pancake swap. And when they're staked on pancake swap, we're earning cake. So here you're earning dogs, but your collateral is actually on pancake swap and it's earning cake, right? And then the cake can be sold. What's awesome about that is he said that they can actually do this exact same thing on other exchanges that they're in talks with now, so they can generate more BUSD for the Pigpen stakers. So I don't know exactly how he could do that or what that would look like, but technically we're on the largest DEX already on Binance, but maybe could move to Uniswap or SushiSwap or something like that in stake. I have no idea, but the fact is that if he is staking the collateral that we have onto another location that has higher yield, and we're earning their native token, be it the Uni or the I just forgot the other one I just mentioned, Sushi token, those can be sold and those dividends can come back to the Pigpen stakers. So that is pretty cool to see opportunities like that. Maybe he'll open up other farms that people can stake. So right now we have a decent amount of farms, but there are definitely other farms that can be added, and that will be bullish for any of the Pigpen holders, because the goal is definitely to acquire as many pigs as possible and get your dividend payouts from that. Let's see, there was one other thing I want to put in here. about him, a change in the teams. So basically he is passing the torch from his existing project manager, Stonecutter, and it's going to another project manager that he says has better qualifications. So let's listen to that.
A project manager who is someone that's been in the community and working with me for about 5 years. I met him because we got into the same pre-sale like 5 years ago. He didn't get his tokens, and I went to bat for him and pulled some strings because I knew the development team and got those tokens for him. And then ever since then, we've been good friends, and he's like really gone to bat for us. And he is in the process now of training up so he doesn't have a ton of experience in project management, but he has some experience in management, and he's just an extremely helpful and good, trustworthy guy. But recently, we just brought someone on who has about a decade of experience managing major projects. He has a degree in engineering management. He's worked for some major entertainment companies doing their project management. And right now, we're in the process of having Stonecutter kind of get him on pace and up to pace so he can fill the role as project manager. And then Stonecutter is going to handle more community stuff, go to making sure our chats are running the way they're supposed to be running, and making sure we have full moderation at all time, and that kind of stuff. So that's another major thing we're in the process of improving on our team. We brought on a CMO, which...
All right. So basically, he mentioned, Stonecutter is going to move into like community management, and they're bringing on a more qualified project manager. So this is important. I wanted to bring this up because I haven't covered it on my channel, but you can check others about the sentiment regarding the existing marketing efforts and the project management, stuff like that. So the point is, and I mentioned this before, Forex built a unicorn company, right? He's a developer. And even admittedly, he's actually not, quote unquote, the most experienced Solidity developer. He just has the vision, right? So he hired BB to do a lot of the coding. And then now they've hired other people to do UI. Then they hire a project manager from within the ecosystem that's part of the team that he was supporting, that helped him out, or he helped him. And then now he brought him on to manage project, but he wasn't really a project manager, just somebody with management experience. And then now he hired a CMO. So the point I'm getting at is that there are going to be bumps in the road with anyone who's built a $1 billion company literally in less than 2 years and are trying to hire the most skilled people and ensure that the project doesn't get exploited or taken advantage of, or you bring on the wrong people, because that's the quickest way to kill momentum, is having the wrong people in the wrong positions. So a quote from Tony Robbins that I went through his business mastery course, and he basically summarized, it's like the reason companies or businesses don't thrive is because it's not because of who they failed to hire, it's who they failed to fire. And Forex even mentioned that before, they had to fire another dev that wasn't performing right. So I'm not saying the project manager is being fired, but he's moving over, Stonecutter is moving into a position that better suits him and bringing on somebody else with more experience to help move this forward. And the same can be said for our current marketing efforts or whatever. So this is the first time he's hired or used someone with marketing experience, and whether or not they are the best qualified or whatever, the point is he is moving in the direction of a person managing a company and trying to put the right people with the right skills in the right position. And based on what I read about him in the Discord, he's never really worked traditional jobs. So he's never been in a position of management to maybe read through resumes and hire people. He's always kind of been a self-made man of building his own net worth, flipping houses, working for himself. He worked in a deli or a grocery store and worked for his family, but it doesn't sound like he really had an opportunity to work in companies and have to work under people. So that means his ability to hire and suss out the talent and things of that nature, he didn't have to go through that. So this is he's learning this right now in real time. So you have to give him the benefit of the doubt. And again, it's a $1 billion company that he's working with employees all over the world. and as well as clients all over the world. So there will be bumps in the road, but if you believe in his vision and you see what he's doing, then you just kind of got to ride it out. And whether or not we like what's going on, or we think we could do it better, or there's other areas to improve, or whatever the case may be, you can always find that. I mean, again, I use Tony Robbins' course, and there are tons of stuff that I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy's multi-billion dollars, and he has misspellings on his website, and the emails aren't going out properly. Like, you can always find issues to pick with people, no matter how big they get. So I think this is awesome. I wanted to bring that up because, yeah, he's bringing somebody else in, and then he'll continue to innovate and bring people into the right positions as we grow. So I just thought that'd be a good thing to wrap up this video with. So if you found it helpful, you know the drill. Like and subscribe and leave a comment below. And there will be another AMA coming up tomorrow. So this video for me will be out in a couple hours, but I'll be covering the next AMA with updates, as well as one other thing he mentioned in this video, but I don't want to keep this for too long, about how to get started. So he's kind of changed his plan a bit, so I'll cover that in another video. All right, until next time, guys, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.